gonna host this fight, man.
All right. Listen, gentlemen, these are the rules, okay? Ain't no scratching, ain't no biting, ain't no kissing, ain't no licking. We fighting, we damn sure ain't diking. Now, the only time y'all stop is when we say break. Other than that, you protect yourself at all time. You protected ourselves all time. Touch gloves, go back to respective corners, come out ready to fight.
What's going on, everybody? This is Afro Think Tank. All right, listen. Y'all remember Pan African Strikes Back, all right? Pan African Strikes Back, he is now the Defiant Brandon. Now, he ran some fades on No Jumper, and I absolutely had to respond to this one, all right? I could not help I don't do that type of content. But y'all know how I feel about No Jumper and that whole atmosphere. But because Brandon ran a fade, right? I had to talk about it, and I'm going to post the fade after I conversate because I want you guys to see it, right? But what you're going to hear is that Brandon got his ass whipped, right? You're going to hear Brandon got beat up, and a lot of people are going to take this opportunity to shit on Brandon because Brandon does talk a lot of shit. I mean, let's be honest. He always say anybody can get it, anybody can fight. He touts his fighting ability. And because of that, everybody's been looking forward to him getting his ass whipped, so to speak. But I'm going to tell you right now, he did not get his ass whipped because it wasn't truly a 1v1. And I'm going to break it down to you, right? So they were running fades and No Jumper. He had this big old 11-hour freaking live stream show where, he's got people coming in trying to be hosts for, I guess, another project he got going on, right? And so some people were running fades. There were a lot of fades being ran, right? And first off, let me tell you something. Most of those people in that crowd was too scared to run fades, especially in front of people. It's different when you're upset and you're angry and you're fighting emotionally and you happen to fight and there's people around. It's another thing to say, hey, let's me and you have mutual combat in front of all of these people and in front of the camera. Potentially millions of people watching this. That's a totally different ball game. So I give props to anybody who had the balls to run that fade because they have a possibility of being embarrassed, right? And we know how black folks are, whether you're in the joning situation, whether it's a freestyle battle rap, whether it's any fight, we're gonna go over the top. Oh shit, we're gonna amplify it to the point to where people's perception of what happened is curated based off the crowd reaction, right? Just like if you watch real boxing, people actually judge the fight based off what the announcers are saying instead of which actually happened in the fight. Happens all the time, right? So I'm gonna tell you right now. So Brandon, I'm gonna break the fight down before you see the fight so you can understand what really happened. Okay. So first of all, Brandon is not a very tall guy. I don't know how tall he is, but he's pretty short. He's thick, short guy, right? And he was going up against a big ass thick guy, right? They make weight classes for a reason. And if these two were in any professional match, probably wouldn't be, even though their weights may be comparable, but be honest, like I would have a separate weight class for the big guy, right? He's big, right? He's big and he was tall. He had leverage. And since this was a chest fade, meaning no facial hitting, it was a chest fade. There's only been so many punches that you can fight in a true chest fade, type of situation, right? So in a chest fade situation, if you throw in the hands, you can either throw a jab, right? A jab, a right hand, right? A cross, right? But you got to watch out for that cross because cross is for the chin, right? So you can do a cross to the body, a cross to the body, a low jab, a low right hand, stuff like that. And you need comparable space. And if you're going to be doing all of that, usually you make the ring. And the problem with these fades that they were having is they didn't control the ring. You're supposed to, anybody who's on the outside of creating the ring are supposed to hold the line. Meaning if they're coming towards you, you're supposed to be able to keep them within the circle, right? There's supposed to be a barrier, right? If everybody moves out the way, then the cohesion of the match is destroyed and the balance is off, right? We're no longer having a competition. It's just it gets stupid at this point, right? Because it's not fair because the person who may be backing up for defensive purposes, if he could continue to go back, right, and the person that's attacking can continue to go forward, that causes an issue because now you got somebody backpedaling, you got somebody moving forward, and there's no end in sight. That's why there's always rings in sumo wrestling. There's a ring. Once you leave that ring, you out. In boxing, the square circle. Once you leave that square circle, you out, right? In wrestling, you have a circle. Once you leave that circle, you are out. If there's no fighting sport to where you could just go any direction at all, and if they were really doing fades, they should have had the people on the ring have some discipline, right? So the problem with the fade and the fade, and because it was just a chest fade, Brandon is short. The dude is tall, right? So that means Brandon's face was at this dude's chest, right? And he only had access, and because the crowd kept coming in and out, Brandon didn't have access to any of the punches that a regular boxer would have used. Like he couldn't do a jab, a low jab. He couldn't do any hooks. He couldn't do any straight right hands, right? And even if he was orthodox, he couldn't, if he was orthodox, there was nothing he can do, right? Dude was big. All he had was the body. Now the big guy, because he was bigger than Brandon, right? And taller. So that means he was safe with his leverage to be able to lean over Brandon, right? And all he had to do is like this. He was doing this, right? He had the advantage because it was just a chest fade and he was already above. So he had a kind of type of leverage because this was not a pushing competition. Had it been a pushing competition, Brandon being short would have had more of a leverage, than the other guy. But because this was a boxing competition and they was wearing gloves, it's not like you could grab, right? So if when you see the fight, you'll see at the very beginning, Brandon is a jiu-jitsu guy, right? So his first thing is to wrestle, to fight, to bring person down to the ground and things like that. So when he went like this, he kind of stopped himself and they end up in a bear hug. But keep in mind, the other dude is bigger. So the bear hug, especially with the irresponsible crowd, all he had to do was lean in, and then Brandon slipped. It wasn't a knockdown. It wasn't a hit. Dude, nobody really got to hit each other for real. It was more of weight on weight, leverage on leverage with an undisciplined ring. So Brandon ended up falling back, right? That was the first one. And then because this was a fade, Brandon fell back on his butt, but his back was upright. So clearly he was still in the game. They should have allowed him to get up and continue. But everybody lost their damn mind because everybody was waiting for Brandon to get, when they saw that, they just said, we're going to truck it up to an ass whooping, even though it wasn't. Brandon fell backwards and he bounced, but he fell backwards, but he was still upright. And it clearly was not from a punch, but everybody else was like, so then they messed it up. Everybody's doing interviews and stuff. Dude's still on the ground. I'm like, come on, bro. That's not how fade's supposed to go. That's not the fight ain't even over yet. The fight's not over yet. Right. So then they get around to do a second round, right? After all the shit talking. And now Brandon should see, right, that when you went over there to no jumper, you pretty much sold yourself. And now you see the people around you, they don't give a fuck about you, all right? At all. There was you could just tell everybody couldn't wait to jump on Brandon. So then Brandon get back out there and do it again. Like I said, the ring was undisciplined. Pretty much the same thing happened. And see, Brandon wearing them sneakers, he wasn't wearing fighting shoes. Nobody was wearing fighting shoes. So, unfortunately, what Brandon he was actually winning. He started to win, right? He was winning, and he was going forward, and keep in mind, the only punches they had available to them because the crowd was very undisciplined was maybe some side slaps. There was no way. It ended up being more of a pushing match because there was no space because very undisciplined crowd, right? So, when Brandon was doing his thing. He was getting his leverage. The big guy moves backwards. And then at the point at which the ring was supposed to push him back in, say, no, you can't leave the circle. What happens? He goes into the crowd. So Brandon, he's used to fighting professionally, right? In places where they have discipline and rules and stuff. So he's going in and he flips forward. He falls forward while on the attack, right? And then the crowd does what? They collapse in on both of them. The dude who he was fighting took his gloves off both times before anything was announced. Like it almost seemed like a setup, to be honest. It almost seemed like a setup. But I give props to Brandon for being about what he say. He got up in there. But I hope he now sees the environment that he's in, right? And he sees how the people that he decided to associate himself with will quickly throw him under the bus for some like views and acceptance. Because Flacco fat ass ain't gonna get in and do shit. All right? Flacco, out of all people, right, should have not said a word. Because now Flacco and Brandon should get in the ring since Flacco was talking all that shit, agging it on, right, acting like he Like you can't talk shit about any fighter unless you're a fighter. I'm a fighter. I'm a real fighter to the end type shit. I know how to fight, and I love watching boxing. When that motherfucking like when Terrence Crawford and Canelo fight. First of all, Terrence Crawford's going to beat the shit out of Canelo. Don't worry about the weight class. He's going to beat the shit out of Canelo. Mark my words. Canelo ain't. There's no tool Canelo has to beat Terrence Crawford. I don't care if he's coming up to 168, 147, because I guarantee you, Terrence Crawford walks around heavier than Canelo. Plus, Terrence Crawford is a wrestler. Wrestlers know how to cut weight. They know how to add muscle. They know how to add stamina with the muscle. They're the best at adding weight while maintaining their stability, while maintaining their speed, and maintaining their explosive power and stamina. So, like I said, Terrence Crawford's going to beat the shit out of Canelo, and that's going to be the end of Canelo. Okay? So, yeah, Brandon, that was not a fair fade, bro. That was not an organized fade. They screwed you up. You were ambushed, bro. You were ambushed. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and put the fight here. Y'all judge for yourselves. Tell me what y'all think. Real fighters, tell me what y'all think in the comment section. Did y'all understand what I said and how I broke it down? All the people who don't know shit about fighting, but like watching fighting, y'all tell me what y'all think too. Anyway, that's all I got to say. It's Afro Think Tank. Learn something, teach them. I'm out.
I do this shit. Ready? Let's get ready to rumble. So first and foremost, what was comment?
Pearl Park Baxters, Skyline of Pearl Park, Sunny San Diego, that's my nigga. A knockdown is a knockdown. You hear me? Shout out to my relative KK West Boulevard. You know what's happening.
Look. So wait. Brother, how do you feel? Because Brandon done popped that shit for the last 6 months.
No, I ain't even gonna hold you. That's look. I'm not even gonna hold you. I'm trying to be this nigga protege on here. I ain't even gonna hold you. So we can run it again. It's my nigga. Hey, look. And this nigga would run it fades, you hear me? So I fucks with bruh. I respect bruh.
Hell no.
Yeah, okay, listen. Part 2. Hey, wait, listen. Part 2 about to happen. Round 1, he got it.
What? I slipped. It was a slip.
Knockdown, man. Okay, round 2 coming. Bro, listen, bro. At least you ain't fall.
Come on, I'm gonna stay on my feet.
Guys, everybody back up, please. Everybody back up. What, back up? Nah, man. Everybody back up, please. Hey. Hold on, Ben Askren? What? Ben Askren?
That's Joe Biden.
Oh, no, you. Okay, sorry. Everybody back up. Yeah, so again, no headshots, please. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. Wait, go. Then to knock him out his shoes the second time, I thought you damn near already earned your no jumper interview. Listen, I promise you, okay? Whether it's next week,
I'm gonna do the first ever interview, okay?
Oh God.
We have to interview the nigga who beat Brandon twice, okay? Okay? So first off, man, did the fade training take place? I don't know, man. In county jail, in the hood, where did you learn how to fade?
A whole bunch of Lincoln Park niggas, a whole bunch of Brim niggas, a whole bunch of Crip niggas, man.
Yeah.
It was a whole lot of fades when I was younger, so you know it ain't nothing.
Brandon, where you at, Brandon? Brandon, where you at, Brandon?
Bring that ass here, boy. Bring that ass here, boy.
Come on, deeper. Hey, come on, talk. What? So what happened and how did it go?
Shout out to my boy. The first one was a slip.
No, for sure.
But I had you backing up on that last one. Come on, man. Hey,
But look, with me and this nigga together, bro,
we good.
We're gonna be getting all these gangster hard ass niggas up out of here.
Hey, nobody wants to go to the crib. Come on, we can do it. Nah, but look, everybody got to be included. So I got in. Somebody got to take some licks. Let's do it.
The girls were next up.
Wait. Before you go, for all my subscribers and philanthropists out there, I'm building a solar power community water bowl system in Nigeria. It's going to cost between $5,000 and $6,000. I'm trying to raise money. If you want to participate and help me build this solar power water system, please donate to the Cash App and put solar water in the notes. Solar water in the notes. I'll put PayPal, Stripe, and Zelle. Anyway, thank you. That's all I got to say. It's Afro Think Tank. Learn something, teach something. I'm out. Thanks for watching Afro Think Tank. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And follow me on Substack and Patreon for more content. Remember, it's Pan-Africanism or nothing.